than any other conventional teaching method. It's a tool so captivating, it not only engages but transforms the learner's brain. Well, what is this tool? It's the ancient art of storytelling, backed by modern neuroscience. Welcome to Strategy with Sally. This is our weekly live, and today we're going to discuss storytelling mastery for education as we unveil the impact for your course creation. But as always, let's kick off with the Sparkle song as we wait for everyone to join us.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome and thank you for tuning into Strategy with Sally. I'm Sally Sparks Cousins, the founder of the Sparkle Class Academy and the creator of the Freedom Funnel Formula. And I am your in-house automation nerd and lover of sexy numbers. We're here live every single Tuesday at 9 o'clock Melbourne time. And for all of our international friends, remember, smart people Google first if you want to find your local time zone. Now, today, I'm really excited to share with you how you create connection through using storytelling. And on Strategy with Sally, we're going to dive deep into this topic that's really close to my heart. I think storytelling is a fabulous tool when it comes to enhancing your learners' experience, also their retention, and for them to remember what it is that you teach. I've been a qualified educator and trainer since 2015, and I've always used storytelling as part of our education. So let's look at this ancient art backed by neuroscience and how it can really transform your course creation. Because storytelling itself isn't just an art form, it is actually backed by science. And today we're going to talk more about that. How storytelling can actually tap into your cognitive parts of your brain and also the emotional centers of your brain. So let's talk first about the cognitive impact that storytelling has. So, cognitive, that part of your brain actually refers to regions of networks within your brains that is actually responsible for the cognitive function. So this is the processes such as thinking, knowing, remembering, judging, and also problem solving. And these higher level functions of your brain also encompasses your language centers, your imagination, your perception, and your planning. So when we listen to a story, it's not just one part of our brain that lights up. It's actually multiple areas working together in harmony inside your brain. Now, neuroscience tells us that when we hear facts and data, the language center of our brain actually starts to activate to try and decode its meaning. But when those facts are actually wrapped up in a story, something really amazing happens. Not only do the language centers light up, but also other areas of the brain that we use to experience events of the story itself. So this means when you're actually using storytelling, it can quite literally transform us to the other person's shoes or even into a different world. Now, this is really, really crucial when it comes to learning because with multiple areas of the brain engaged, it can actually lead to better retention and understanding of the information that you're providing. Now, stories themselves have been proven to be remembered up to, I think it's 22 times more than actual facts alone. So when you tell a story inside your course, you're not just teaching, you're actually creating a really memorable learning experience for your students. Now, the other part as well that's really important in storytelling is the emotional connection through the stories. So, stories have a really powerful they are a really powerful tool to evoke emotion, but also to build empathy. So, this emotional engagement actually creates effective learning. So, when learners feel an emotional connection to the material, their engagement level actually will skyrocket. Emotional content results in increasing dopamine in the brain. And dopamine, what that does is it boosts your memory and also your information processing. So think about the last time you heard a really good story. Maybe it was a case study that you saw in a webinar or a character maybe in an educational video. Did you feel a little connection to it, maybe to the character? Did that journey evoke any type of emotion in you? You see, this connection, what it allows you to do is it makes content stick. Stories allow learners to see the real world applications of maybe some abstract content and concepts that you may have, and it actually makes learning so much more relatable and meaningful. Now, there are some really key elements, and I thought I would just give you one example of some key elements to make a really compelling story. And there are three major components when you're thinking about writing a story. So let's have a look here at some key elements that you will to consider when you're putting together a story. So the first one is, who is the character? Now, every great story starts with a character, somebody who you and your audience can actually connect with. So, especially in educational stories, this real life character could be a real life figure, right? It could be your story, it could be a client's story, or it could be a hypothetical individual as well. But having a character for somebody to relate to. The second part you want to consider when putting together your stories is having like a little bit of conflict in the story. Now, the key to creating conflict is what it is really, it's a challenge, right? It's some kind of problem that person has overcome. And what it does is it helps to really drive the story forward. And with this challenge or this problem or even questions that the character faces in context of education and teaching, you think about a real world problem that yourself or your client or this hypothetical person has been through, and this sort of challenging concept or this dilemma that needs solving, you include this into your story and it'll engage the learner so that they're eager to see, how do they fix this problem? How will they resolve it? Which leads me to the final step, the resolution. So finally, we have the resolution. Now, this is where the problems are resolved, the questions are answered. So in educational storytelling, the resolution often involves a lesson learned or potentially an insight that you've gained. Generally, it's the aha moment that leaves a lasting impact on the learner. Now, I've been building my own personal story library for many years. It was actually introduced to me by Shalene Johnson. She told me, carry around a notebook, and every time some kind of story comes up or something comes up in a conversation, or maybe you have a bright idea, put it into a little journal. Okay, and it's a wonderful idea, especially for you if you're an educator, a coach, or even a professional that's using public speaking or teaching. So, here are some things that you can consider. If you want to start your own story library or journal that you can consider. So, I got a list here for you. And here we go. So, some of the things that you can consider when putting together your own little story library is to start with you, right? Start with your own personal experiences, things that you've learned, or maybe successes that you've had, and even those failures. See, these personal stories often are the most relatable and the most impactful as well. So, one, I want you to start to reflect on past events. Okay, so this is an action task for you, all right, or we call it a GSD, get shit done. So I want you, wherever you're listening or watching to this, I want you to pause the video or pause the audio and set a 5-minute timer. And I want you to start to reflect on past events and challenges that you've overcome, and even some significant milestones that you've had both in your life and in your career. Okay? All right, so go ahead, pause it now, and then we'll be back to finish this off. Okay, so we're back. You've paused. You've done your 5-minute of GSD. I'm really proud of you if you actually did follow through. Now, Ma, you're going to edit this little bit out. But guys, this is a live podcast recording. Ma's going to edit this bit out, I hope. And if she doesn't, oh well. We record this live. We're not going to do the pausing. I'm going to do this with our clients after we go dark. We're going to start to brainstorm some stories together. But if you're on the live stream, note it, okay? I want you to come back and watch this, because what I share with you today, if you watch it once, you'll remember a couple of things. But if you watch or listen to it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, you'll be more immersed in the content and it'll start to actually make sense. And then you can actually start using these stories inside of your own programs, even your live streams as well. Now, the second thing to consider when trying to build your stories is gathering stories from other sources. So read books, read articles, blogs, across different genres and niches, and note down any stories that resonate with you. I love doing this when I'm listening to podcasts or if I'm watching, documentaries or educational content over on YouTube, right? And I love a good TED talk, right? And going to seminars. So this huge array of different sources is also a wealth of storytelling material. So if you come across something that really resonates with you, pull out that story journal and write it down. Now, the third option is other people's stories. Now, collect stories from friends and families, mentors, and even past clients. So often people share their experiences with you, and if you're paying attention, you will notice because you're always on the lookout now for great stories, right? So when people share their experiences with you, one, if it feels super powerful and it's a lesson that you have learnt from it, or you think that it's something that could help your students, ask permission from that person to share the plan, that you're going to share their personal information, and then stick it in your diary and plan to share it with other people. But make sure you do get permission, or at least acknowledge where you heard it from. Like earlier, I just acknowledged Shalene Johnson for the idea of having a story journal, right? So that's the third option for you. Now, once you've got a lot of stories, what is a great thing to do is start to organize and categorize your stories, especially if you're creating online courses. You want to be able to access these stories easily when you're putting together your content. So, when you're thinking about organizing and categorizing, think about the modules and the lessons inside of your program, and will any story actually help to increase the retention and the experience, the emotional and cognitive experience of your learners? Also, another thing to do is you could categorize them by themes such as leadership or teamwork, innovation, resilience, okay, so that you can easily retrieve that information. Then moving on to number 5, reflect and draw on the lessons. So, what that means is when you have actually written out the story that you want to use, make sure you then put some dot points under it, such as what are the key takeaways that I can get from the story or the lessons that you will learn. So, in essence, what does the story teach you? Why is it significant that you are sharing that story? Now, when you practice doing this, each time you think of a story, your stories will actually become more effective in your teaching and also in your presentations. And then finally, number 6, practice, practice, practice. Regularly tell stories. Okay, stories is an art that improves with practice. And also seek feedback if you want to from trusted mentors, trusted peers to really refine your storytelling skills. So make sure you get yourself one of those little books, right? And when you find maybe you're in a conversation with somebody and you're telling a story and maybe it resonates with them, write it down. If you're listening to podcasts and you hear something really cool, write it down. Okay, so as we wrap up today, I hope that you've really can see how stories can be so powerful for you, and that you can really have an appreciation for the power of storytelling when it comes to implementing it into education, especially if you are one of our amazing sparklers out there who want to or have been creating courses. And also, I'm always pushing you to go live same day, same time, every week, just like Strategy with Sally, right? Again, using stories in that as well. Also, we've looked at the cognitive impact of storytelling and the emotional connection that it also fosters in your learners. And some really great elements such as character, conflict, and resolution if you're thinking about putting together a story. Plus, we've also had a little bit of a look at, how you can put everything that you learn and hear over all the years of your life into a little story journal. But remember, each story you tell is not just a narrative, okay? It has to actually bridge and connect you to your learners. It really wants to facilitate a deeper learning and understanding and a lasting impact in what you are trying to help your people with. Now, I encourage you to really start weaving in your own stories into your teachings, into your live events, into your live streams, and into your course. But our journey doesn't end here on this live stream. If you would like to take this even further and implement into your course and really bring stories to the next level, I have a really exciting opportunity for you. You see, this month we're bringing back a really old event, our Course Creation Challenge. I have not run this event, I think, since 2019. So it's been a while. And in this challenge, we're going to dive deep into not just storytelling, but all the aspects of creating impact in a successful course. And what I promise is over the 3 days, you will get hands on learning plus click by click guidance to build a course. We're going to bring your course ideas to life. We're going to structure it. We're going to price it. We're going to make it engaging. And at the end of the 3 days, you will have a course that's ready to sell. And we're going to also implement using a lot of the new things that have come out since 2019, like AI, in our course creation as well. So if you're ready to take a big leap into course creation to build your first or next course, then I invite you to, let me find my little button, this one, to join us in our 3-day course creation challenge. Just head to sparkleclassacademy.com/CCC, which stands for Course Creation Challenge. That's sparkleclassacademy.com/CCC. And to all of our clients out there, I highly recommend that you also opt in because we build live challenges with you, right? And you want to experience a live challenge from the user's point of view as well. So make sure that you also register, experience the funnel, the emails, and all the goodness that happens from a user's point of view, but also put your student hat on because you know our framework and you'll be able to see how our framework is distributed across the 3-day challenge as well. So don't miss out on the opportunity to join us and also the amazing community that we build here inside the Sparkle world of like-minded educators and creators who really want to share their inner sparkle with the world and truly inspire and transform lives of others. So, for all of those out there on the live stream, thank you so much for joining us. I want you to keep telling really powerful stories. I can't wait to see you in our upcoming Course Creation Challenge. But for now, I'm going to head over to the VIP room and I'm going to ask whoever wants to have a speak, we're just going to bring a couple of you up. What was a key takeaway from today? Who's going to raise their hands? Don't be shy. Come on, I see you. They're all being shy today. Come on. I can see Joanne is unmuting, so I'm going to bring up Joanne. Hey, Joanne. So what's a key takeaway for you?
When I did my first launch, I had the
She's gone. Oh, there she is. Yep.
I had the whole thing planned out. I ran it by my business
Yep.
partner before I did it.
Oh, we keep losing her.
Yeah, I'm hearing double here. Anyway, She suggested that it to it. I was not going to put all of that in, but it worked out for the best.
Excellent. Yeah, personal stories is the way to go. So let me share you a little story, like another story. Because I go live all the time, right? Every week at the same time. But not only that, is I'm sharing stories inside of our open Q&A sessions when we go dark here inside of the Sparkle world. And sometimes the more you speak, eventually stuff just falls out and you're like, oh my goodness, that's a really great story. So if anyone's ever heard the umbrella story when it comes to messaging, yeah, everyone in the room's nodding their heads. That just fell out one day. I was drawing a picture showing the modules and the lessons when it comes to putting together your course, but I transitioned into talking about messaging and how so many people get messaging wrong. And there's a whole story around it. But what I help people picture was standing under an umbrella next to the person with the problem, shielding them from the rain and listening more than you're speaking. Because that is what's actually used in all your messaging and your marketing. Because you're selling your service or your course or your coaching program to what they think that they need. See, most of the time, nobody comes to me and says, I need a strategy, Sally. Nobody. Everyone says, I need more money. I need more clients. I need, I need a better content creation strategy. That is, content creation. More leads and money is what they want. But what they need is a strategy to make that happen. So when you're standing under the umbrella, you're actually listening more than you're speaking. Another example that really resonated well, I was sharing a story about how especially female entrepreneurs, now let me know if this is you. Are you a female entrepreneur, course creator, coach, and you find it difficult to ask and tell people how much your program is? Right? It's really hard because we feel like we have this innate gift to want to nurture and help each other. And we feel bad when we charge people for it. So I started to share this story, and then this line came out of me, which was, stop treating your business like a charity. Make a lot of money in your business and you can help as many charities as you want. Now, through me sharing this story and just talking and randomly these sentences fall out of my mouth, when I asked everyone what your key takeaway was at the end of the lesson, there were so many people that said, don't treat your business like a charity. And I'm like, story journal, write that one down. All right, Anthony and Melissa, come on up. Tell us, what is your key takeaway from today?
So it was actually really funny because as you're talking about implementing stories and having stories be a part of what your courses or anything that you're doing, even as you're just saying content creation, course creation, any of that, we were just sitting here talking about it and we're like, we realized that in everything that we do, we try to share some sort of story about what we've experienced on what we may be talking about, or on just something that we've had experience from in the past that might make a difference for somebody else.
Yeah. You both are very good at doing that. And the way you bounce off each other, you kind of initiate each other to tell a story, or you ask each other
Yeah.
questions and bounce off each other really well on the lives. I love watching that. And yeah, definitely, you do such a great job at that. Who else is in the room who would like to come up, or are you all going to leave your cameras off on me today? One more so we can make it 3. Come on. They're all being so shy today. That's okay. All right. I think they want to go dark so we can get into the sexy numbers and reviews and things. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for everybody out there who joined us. We're about to go dark with our paid community. Now, if you are out there, some of our paid community members on the live stream, then head on into the Strategy with Sally room via your dashboard. I'm here for you. Tuesdays is my day inside the Sparkle world, or Monday, depends on where you are in the world. But I'm here for you today to answer all questions until all questions are answered. And for everybody else out there on the live stream, I just want to say, as always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get at least one income producing activity done each and every day. And I'll see you next week, same time, or will I? I don't know. I'll have to check with Christy because I think I'm traveling. We will definitely be live streaming in some way, shape, or form because that's what we do here. So I definitely will see you next Tuesday, even if it's from the road. Have a great one, guys. I'll see you. And if you've got any questions, feel free to hit me up in the DMs. We'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.